Good morning,
Morning, all.
Good morning.
Hope you're all well.
Good morning.
Busy week so far.
It's been hot. It's been hot. Hundreds of thousands have been flocking.
Yeah, the rad speed
Cobra
has dominated the views, dominated
Rad.
opinions for the whole week.
The consensus is the name makes people sad, but the driver makes people glad.
Yep, it certainly does. I mean, when we first heard the name, I think we said it in the video, we were like, that's an odd name for a driver. And then, obviously, you dig into it a little bit more, and all that stuff just fizzles out.
It does.
It really does. It fizzles out.
It's not so offensive or stupid that you can't look past it. It's not called the Cobra. Anyway, I won't get into it, but it's like it can't. Let's keep it in perspective. Is it what you and I would have chosen for a driver name? Maybe not. Probably not. Actually, definitely not. But regardless, it is a good driver. That's what is most important. We were impressed.
Do you know what's funny? I was just looking through booking orders last night, and some of the names. So I won't call out the company. One of them we're placing an order with them right now. So the name of their driver is under sort of embargo right now or something like that. Even though we've seen it months ago.
Yes.
So you've got to book it under this alias name.
Oh, so that people can't see the documentation.
So people don't know what it's called and all that sort of stuff.
But everyone knows what it's called.
Everyone knows what it's called. And it's just like, come on. Like, when can we all just acknowledge that the world is not the way it used to be? Like, the digital space, like...
It's denial, isn't it?
It's
Why are people in
100%,
denial?
it's so stupid.
It is legit
like, let's
stupid.
just, even like we've talked about a million times, like regional dates.
Yeah.
Come on, the internet.
What region is this?
It doesn't matter.
No. 500 years ago,
the world is round. It's not flat.
So true. I know. I think we're making progress, though. I have hope.
I know.
Every day and in every way, we're getting
I think
better
so.
and better.
I agree with that. We are making
slowly
progress.
but surely. And we have to remember that apparently we live in an igloo in the Antarctic, and people don't realize that Canada is a real country. But
I know.
We're here.
But we
this is fantastic.
We have a strong community. We have unbelievable following, and
really
looking at how much you guys sort of embraced those videos this week, and the comments and stuff were great. And
some of the most, I can tell you right now how many comments
brilliant.
We've had. Wow. So the radspeed driver video has 1,641 likes, which is more than any video that's been posted. I'm still scrolling. The last time we had a video with over 1,600 views or thumbs up, what was it? This is impossible. I don't know why I'm setting you up for failure.
Probably one that we asked for. Was it?
Maybe, yeah. It was a TSI versus Sim.
Right.
Maverick and G410 LSD. So it was when TSI came out, we did the 4-driver lineup. That's the last time. That's the last time we got 1,600 likes on a video. And by the way, that video is now over a month old.
Yeah.
So I think people are pretty into this Cobra stuff. Hot. Lots of comments, 234 comments. So the real funny thing today, which I did, speaking of impulse posting this morning, I was going to text you, but I figured you were driving.
It's a must.
Figured you were driving. So we've posted this. That's a picture of the rad speed.
The rad speed.
And the Autoflex. I know it's a little out of focus here. In our build shop moments ago. And I posted the following: 100 reposts on Instagram, meaning you press the little airplane.
Yep.
And you post in your story, or you can use the repost app. Go ahead, post it and tag us. If we get 100 of those, we're going to literally go live like this, 2 camera angle live like we do, and we will do the radspeed Autoflex video live. Wow. You guys can enjoy it, cheer us on, put comments in. Ian will be back here with the live chat and everything.
I think that'd be amazing.
I don't see why 100 people wouldn't just press share. I'm not asking you to share a embarrassing photo of yourself. So.
Rad speed with Autoflex.
Yep.
Where is she? Old Autoflex kicking about?
The loose one's in there, and there's some over here. Oh yeah, Autoflex is always sprinkled throughout the shop. So I'm keeping an eye on that. Right now, it's not at 100. That's all I'll say. So people need to get on this. People need to get on this.
Dave's saying don't do it today because he's playing TBC Dye Valley. Sorry, Dave.
Sorry, Dave.
It's happening today.
The replay will be on, though.
Replay will be on. You'll see it.
Before I forget, 10:30 a.m. sharp Eastern Standard Time, 19 minutes from now. Jose from Cobra Golf is joining us. He will be on the left side of our screen, split screen, joining us live for probably about a 10-15 minute little chat about the radspeed.
Yeah.
And we'll leave time for you guys to fire questions at him if you guys have user questions. We'll be able to do that in real time. So we'll probably do that for, as I said, 15 minutes to 30 minutes total.
Love it.
And we'll do Q&A until then. And then after Jose, we'll probably wrap it up.
Yeah.
And we will check on our Autoflex status. And if it's reached the pinnacle number, then we will go right back live.
We'll get it going.
You guys will be the first to know.
Yep. Another couple of videos coming today. We have the Strixon ZX
Show people those.
Fairway and hybrids, which look really, really good.
They look great. The last hybrid was one of my kind of sneaky favorites.
Sneaky favorite.
Take the plastic. Let's do an unboxing, shall we? Oh. Unboxing live on YouTube. Keep the smudges off this to a minute. Ooh, it's shiny. There she is. Smash in.
Very nice. How's that little fairway look to your eye?
That's good. Very similar look to the last one.
I know.
Sort of this front ridge, carbony back. It's good. The hybrid looks a lot like the old one from Address 2.
And it kind of has, I think, a little bit of that similar look that we said we really liked about the, maybe has a hair more offset. See that hosel just sits slightly ahead of the leading edge?
Just a bit.
Maybe a bit.
Cobra has the best looking Address hybrid so far of 2021, for what that's worth.
Jonathan is asking, is the new Cobra drivers going to be available to lefties?
They are, Jonathan Edwards. Not only are they going to be,
We
they
tested
already
it in a lefty, and it caused some...
I know. The number of... I didn't pay attention to
some issues.
Take a photo of the right-handed one.
Can you guys take a photo of the righty next to him? I can't get my head around these lefty pictures.
I'm just like the right-handed one to begin with. Also, don't be discriminating against left-handed and right.
Well, the other part is there's a million pictures of the righty. And like, we would be the only ones who have ever done anything on a lefty.
Except for Coach Rusty, because he's also a lefty.
Is he a southpaw, is he?
I think he is. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Funny.
Yep. I saw a picture that you liked of the Strixon Tour heads.
What's that?
I'm trying to think what that is.
I don't remember doing that.
I don't know what you mean, Bryce.
Okay.
Not too sure.
I feel like we've done the news of the day so far. Why don't we take a few questions?
It's like, isn't it? Read the news. Yeah, let's get some questions before Jose joins us.
Okay. Sounds good, team. Here we go. Speaking of Autoflex, Chris is saying he got 7 miles an hour average first time using it.
Wow. Yeah, you know, I've had a bunch of...
And then 3.5 going forward, so that's a great result.
I've had a lot of messages from people who have managed to, you know, try a Autoflex or from the guys who bought it from us, saying that they've just had unbelievable results.
It is working for people, thank God.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear it. I'm not gonna say I was worried it wouldn't. I'm just glad to see that
we both would be.
Why would you want it to?
Because we're talking in a sample size of one. That's what you're always worried about.
I'm always worried about that.
The thing is, guys, and you know, I don't worry, but I can always catch myself when we review product, and I done this on Monday there when we reviewed radspeed.
Yes.
I remember standing at the PGA show, prior to the PGA show, and we tested Speed Zone, thinking that's a really good driver.
Yeah,
that's an improvement on F9 in many ways. And then as the year went on, I changed my opinion on it.
Yeah, because you had other metrics, right?
That's it. So when we give our opinion on these things, it's often not having tested it with 30, 40 people.
It needs time. It needs time and exposure, doesn't it?
It does.
Good. Well, I mean, we're starting to get to the point where we're getting messages maybe from 30, 40, 50 people, and it's been a couple months. So,
well, I'm getting a lot of messages from other people inside the industry going,
really?
What the hell is what's the deal with this pink shaft? Like a lot of people. Even
just so they can get up to speed.
Different people who work for head manufacturers or you know, different things like that. I was talking to a company in the US yesterday, and they were saying that they've actually sold a few, so they managed to get a few and they sold a few off the back of it, so they were thanking us for that. And I don't know if we've ever had more influence on a single product.
Never. No, because in the North American market it was completely unknown.
It was unknown.
They did send a few out, and I know Golf WRX posted. I should say Golf WRX probably started the online buzz.
They did, yeah. I mean,
but no one had. Let's be fair. No one had made a video, and it took off after that.
Someone had. There was a gentleman piped up in one of our feeds. Or it was the last test we done with the slower swing speeds. And he kind of went down the route of that we had some kind of agenda with Autoflex,
right. I forgot about that.
Like we were incentivized by them, and it was a huge cash grab by TXG and this and that. And I'm like, dude, we're not even the first ones to have done this.
No,
it's not like we kind of picked out a product and went, let's try and sell a bunch of those.
You also sold it reluctantly. Like you did it because no one could get it. And we're like, I feel bad for people. There's nowhere to buy this.
And trust me, putting together the stuff with for Mike to do,
it's been hard.
The online fits and get that form ready and stuff like that, because we didn't want to just go here, come and buy something. Like we just didn't want to get people in the wrong stuff, because then it would have been a terrible experience.
Yeah, and it would have been bad for everyone involved. It would have
been. But
no, I totally agree. I'm glad it's worked out the way it has, and like you said, whatever company that is bought some, we got nothing to do with that. It's not like we're not making a commission off of some other companies starting to use it. So
we know that it's not for everyone. We've said that many times. I've tried to explain who it is for and the type of swing that will benefit from that type of a shaft and that type of sort of dynamic motion. So
no, you're absolutely right.
Hopefully we have. Patrick is asking, long-time subscriber.
Hello, Patrick.
Member as well. Long time, maybe I missed this, but curious what pushed Ian Fraser towards club fitting, club building, as opposed to instruction or course management.
Did you instruct for a bit though?
Yeah.
You did, when you first started as a pro?
More just as out of necessity, just to kind of, that was part of your program. You had to get through the PGA, kind of, you had to pass all your tests and stuff like that. So, and obviously in the early 2000s, I think I would have turned pro in 2000. So, at that point, no one was really talking about club fitting. They still don't.
True, it was
still a problem.
It is totally disproportional to the number of opportunities in the industry.
Absolutely.
How much time you spend training on it.
Definitely. Patrick, what pushed me towards it was first and foremost, I was really into equipment. I've always been into equipment, even when I was a goalkeeper, when I was a young goalkeeper at football. I was always very into what gloves, what type of latex to use on the gloves, and all the different things. And there was a couple of companies came out with different technology.
I didn't realize it was that techy.
I mean, it probably isn't, but I kind of made.
No, but there are people.
Mind that
no, you're right. I have friends like that with hockey too.
Yeah. Just technically minded, and if you can extract a little bit more performance, and that kind of led me down into this whole club building world at the time. It wasn't really this. It was very different. But even the making your own clubs and having adjustments and aftermarket shafts. It's
a new world for you, kind of
It's a whole new world.
Was that at your club? Was that your home club that you were at, that you kind of tinkered with stuff?
Yeah.
It was, okay.
Yeah. So I started doing, basically started my own little repair company, done reshafts and all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
So you had a little operation at your. That's cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Fun. And then,
what's that place you were assistant pro at?
It was the course was called Cardross.
And that's not
just
where you grew up playing. That's where you got your first job.
So Helensburgh is where I grew up playing, and then 5 minutes up the road was Cardross.
Awesome.
Really nice course.
Yeah.
Just outside, just northwest of Glasgow.
That's cool. Yeah. So you had the little kind of build and repair operation, and then after that, TaylorMade, is that the next step?
After that, TaylorMade started in 2004. Yeah.
That's great.
Yep.
Cool little story.
So that's what got me into it. So I mean, obviously the thing was when you go down to your PGA residentials. In year one, I remember being there, and there was, probably 100 and so, first year students, and every one of us had to stand up. My name is, Patrick Reed. I want to be a coach. My name is Joe Smith. I want to be the best head pro. No one stood up and said, I want to be the best club fitter in the world.
And probably nothing even to do with equipment.
Nothing.
It's amazing because it's like club design and all this stuff.
Nothing.
It's just
not one person in the whole class.
And that's the problem. And then I think when it comes to club design, not to hijack this conversation, but people who engineer clubs, they have a passion for golf, but they come from other industries. Like golf needs to cultivate its own engineering talent and club fitting talent from within the industry. So start with a passion for golf and then develop those versus going, I'm an engineer, I'm a smart person, also I love golf, I'm changing my career now, I'm coming to golf. I think it'd be better for the industry if they started there, because they would love to. Just people don't think it's a viable way to make a living, which is wrong.
You know, Mike is kind of on a board with Humber College here. And it's something I think he shared with them recently that he thought that they you know, could do with kind of updating their program a little bit, something that could, you know, there's a reason when, you know, interns come from the program to work for us. They want to leave the program. And that's not. We're not kind of making a mission to hijack them. They're like, you know, how do I start working? I just, you know, I don't see why I would continue. I've found something that I love. Club fitting's never something I thought about before, but looking at it now, that I want this to be my life and career. And
interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
People need the chance to be exposed to it. And then if it is what they want, they need more time in the class, or it needs to be more valuable, the education. Because if you can provide more value than an educational institution with an internship, the educational institution is the one that needs to take a look at what they're doing, not you, right? So
and you know, a bit of a selfish way, I knew that the one of the plays on the YouTube channel from day one would be a legacy of, we would open up more people's minds to club fitting than would have previously been available to them.
That is so true.
I knew that would be one of the things we would achieve if the channel ever done anything.
It's noticeable. Definitely. You can see how many times it gets asked.
I get it all the time in my DMs. How do I join? How to become a club fitter? Or how do I transition into the industry? What advice can you give me? What certifications out? Can I come and shadow you guys? You know, all these sorts of things. I never thought about it, but I'd love to do this now. So
I love that.
It's cool.
You're right. If that's one of the main legacies, that would be a great accomplishment.
That would be very cool.
I'm just going to grab a water.
Okay, my man.
Are you good?
Yep, we'll grab...
jet fuel for you this morning?
I've got a little horse. There's some in the office if you want any.
I might do that before the Autoflex video.
Yep. Let's see. A lot of chatter. With a year of Arcos, which is more valuable, the high end of your bag or the low end of your bag?
So strokes gained. I answer mine easily, high end. The low end of my bag is underperforming.
The low end, the wedge stuff?
Yeah, short. I shouldn't say I'm underperforming. I'm okay, but relative to like my driving and everything else, it's a slight weakness. I think I'm like a 4 handicap or something with my wedges.
I'll just so I don't even know where I ended the season. Let's have a week.
I think you
peaky.
Probably yours started better than it finished, because your short game stats were good in your wedges.
I would have definitely started. Yeah, well, I think actually, so I think at the start, I remember posting how shocking my short game was. Remember that post I done? It was like
and then you made an effort.
Like a 32 handicap or something.
That's right. And then you got your new wedges and everything. Oh yeah, there you go.
So I ended the season.
So you got 30 strokes came off of your.
So that's over the last 10 rounds.
Okay,
overall.
You were very consistent at the end of the
day. So pretty consistent. So plus 0.8 driving, plus 0.9 approach, plus 0.1 short game, plus 0.7 putting. If I was to say there was one, not flaw, but maybe something that maybe Arcos doesn't quite detect from my game, is it doesn't seem to, I don't feel like I putted well at all at the end of the season.
Interesting.
And it's not reflecting that on there.
It is, I think, well, part of it is it thinks you're a zero putting. I think you've putted many times like a +5, though. You're capable
maybe, yeah.
Because now it's thinking you're a zero, and I'm sure it's correct. But you're disappointed with it because you know you can putt better, which I know is true, because you could be like a +4 putting. So yeah, it's probably pretty accurate, eh?
So what would you say from your Arcos data? What's the focus for you for next year?
I'm going to say putting is the #1 priority. I want to start with a lot, and I've already committed to some of it. I've got the putting practice mat that I'm going to start using. I want to tinker around with that putting training aid that you were mentioning to me, and obviously got a horseshoe at my ass that I have Gareth to hang out with a few times 100%. Also. So.
Well, I think I'm going to definitely piggyback some of your journeys to London and do some of that.
There's 2 things I want to film with you at our next shoot. A nice wedge lesson, and just a nice putting lesson.
I would love that.
We'll do both of those for you, and then maybe just a putting lesson for me, and we'll post them all on our channel as well. So
that'd be great.
And Gareth wants to do it because it's good for him. Obviously, it's good exposure, and and we love having him on the channel. People love having him. So.
I truthfully believe that if I could get my wedge game, in really good shape and good order, I think that would be the catalyst to my game really getting
100%.
to
It unlocks the rest,
level.
doesn't it? It just makes everything else have less pressure.
Yep, definitely. I've been so focused on the driver for so long, and trying to get a bit longer, trying to get a bit straighter. And
you have done both.
I've done a decent job of both of those. So now it's time for that to become maintenance.
Totally agree. I just want to take this really quick
go for
because
it.
I feel like we neglect the lady contingent very
We
often.
do. We absolutely do.
Jeff is asking about getting his wife a set for Christmas. That's a great idea, Jeff. Ladies' options are limited at times. Is getting a men's senior flex set a viable option? And if not, maybe we can get Jeff some options because we have great ladies sets that we order from various companies. So what do you think? Let's help Jeff.
I mean, we carry the GLE stock, Ping GLE all the time. That's
Lindsay loves hers too.
Yeah, I'm forgetting Lindsay has hers.
She hits it great.
So I think they probably make the best OEM set for ladies. I really like the Zexio stuff as well. It's a bit
obviously
more
higher
pricey.
price point, but extremely good also.
Yep, and then I think on the more budget conscious, the Cobra F Speed.
Great idea.
Is another
and that's
really
a
good
full
one.
set, isn't it? Around $1,000.
Yeah, I think like a little more maybe, but it's good.
US-ish, maybe?
Yeah, but $1,000 US would be right on that.
So Jeff, if you want, I mean, look up those 3 sets, buy them from wherever you want. But if you really can't get access, send us an email. We can obviously order we have some in stock, a little bit.
Yep.
But worst case, drop ship it to you. So shoot us an email, info@TXG, and we'd be happy to help. Your wife will be happy. That's a nice gift. To me, that's a Christmas gift. I'm not just saying that because it's golf. Like a set of golf clubs, a TV, like buying a telescope for a kid, like all these things. I don't know, something about huge gifts. I know it's a bit like romanticized for movies, but just like something about stuff like that. Like getting a gift that starts a hobby, it could be life-changing. Like imagine someone buys you a set of clubs, you were never gonna try golf and you end up trying it. Yeah. Golf is like 80% of my life half the time.
I know.
Like it's just amazing how that could shape your life in such a nice way.
Definitely.
Hopefully that happens for your wife, Jeff. Hopefully.
Definitely.
We got a couple more minutes before.
Yeah, Jose will be
check my email.
Joining us shortly.
Jose, guys, you will remember, if anyone's wondering who we're talking about, go back and watch our initial review of the Speed Zone driver from the PGA show, end of January last year.
That's right.
Jose is the VP of design or marketing. Forgive me, this is brutal. Worst interviewer ever. But anyway, Jose is I think he's very well-spoken. He's very personable. He speaks practically. I think people appreciated the fact that he wasn't just kind of like spewing marketing stuff. So you'll remember Jose from our last visit to the PGA show.
Yeah. So Jose's VP of marketing.
He is VP of marketing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, for someone who's in marketing, he's very good at not being too markety-ish.
Exactly. I think Jose is very much in the same vein as a Chris Vauchal in that he is in that marketing role because he's so knowledgeable, so personable, that you can storytell much better when that's your skill set.
It validates it, doesn't it? It really does.
He actually comes from more of a kind of engineering and design background, and maybe we'll quickly touch on that.
We should ask him. I would love to hear about his background.
Yeah,
Remember you said that to me because you've known talked
of
to
him,
Jose for quite a while, right?
Certainly, I knew about him from when I was sort of at TaylorMade and sort of coming over here. I knew of him, and then Johnny Wonder always spoke so highly of him.
Of course, yeah, because Johnny spent quite a bit of time with Cobra also.
Yeah. He's very close to the guys at Cobra.
Awesome. Okay, so this is quite interesting here. I'm going to try my best to do this today, guys. This highlight video. So this is how this works. I'll have to come back to it. Now I've frozen it. Just so people can watch the interview after the fact separately, but I'll figure that out later.
I got our 2 blank shafts for the SST Pure test.
Exciting.
So we're going to do 2 tests.
Okay.
I think on the live Q&A last week I said we're going to do basically, Mike is going to pure one of the blank shafts. Only he will know who that is. He will write in an envelope which one is the pured one. He will give us both shafts and the envelope. Yes. And then at the end of it, we'll basically open up the envelope and we'll basically go, okay, so that's the difference
like the Oscars.
between the 2. So neither of us will know. Oh. So it's not like I'll be doing the test knowing and you don't know.
No.
So neither of us will know which one is pured.
Great idea.
The second test will be non-pured, pured at different orientations. 3 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 9 o'clock, because there is some debate as to the value of, there's UPS, the value of, I don't think he's coming in here.
Oh no,
he's over the other side of the road.
Yeah, because there's ways to use that as a feature of the
soft
fit.
side and hard side.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so that's a separate conversation.
Yeah. So I think that will be good.
Exciting.
That will be exciting.
I like the reveal process. That's such a great idea.
I know. Well, I mean, it's authentic, isn't it? Because
as long as we don't pull a Steve Harvey.
What's that?
Where he said the wrong girl won Miss Universe.
That's right.
Or the Oscars when that poor old guy said that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood won Best Picture, but Moonlight won Best Picture, and then it was like the poor guy. I posted it on my Instagram. It was based on the design of the card.
Yeah.
I'm really going off on a tangent.
Yeah, I'm about to join you. I've got another one.
Because the typography was so poor, it had words and stuff, and Best Actress was part of the card, so he messed it up. But we have to make sure that we write it clearly, so that when you go, and this one is the one that's SSD pured, it's not the wrong one.
Yeah.
That would be.
We will not be doing that.
Zero.
We will not be doing that.
I think we got Jose here.
Cooper wants to see more golf vlogs. Yeah, we would love to do more of those, and the minute we can travel, we were chatting about that. We were chatting about that yesterday.
Yeah, you sent me a little teaser for something in a month or two that you could book me tomorrow if it's available.
Would be great.
Okay, forgive me, I got to send.
Go for it.
It's not
I'll just keep going with the questions. Best junior set, Anthony. Ping Prodigy. If they're really small, very young, go with the US kid stuff. Bryce, maybe just Matt was playing a little bit with the highlight thing there, so if it's skipping a couple frames,
there's Jose. I think the link's working.
Is there a man there? Yeah. There he is. Jose's
link's
joining.
Working just fine. Okay, are we ready for Jose?
We are.
So Jose from Cobra Golf, guys. I'm gonna go grab the radspeed. Okay. Welcome Jose in. There's Jose. Jose, give us 1 second, bud. And we're gonna add him to the right side of the screen.
You got it?
I think so. I just need to there he is.
Jose, how are you, my man?
Hey guys, how's it going?
We're doing all right. You doing okay?
This is fantastic.
Outstanding.
Good. How's the link? Can you hearing stuff okay? Is it clear enough?
Yes, it's clear enough.
Beautiful.
If needed, I can plug in hardwire if you need me, but Wi-Fi seems to be perfect.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're crystal clear, and we're hearing you well. So, big week, exciting week.
This is fantastic.
It's been an awesome launch week. It's been a rad week.
I have to cozy up to you a bit here, pal.
Yeah, come on in. I think throw up the volume just a little bit for us as well.
Our volume?
Yeah.
Jose, you having a hard time hearing us?
No, just I'm having a hard time hearing.
Oh, okay.
Perfect.
Yeah.
There we go. There's
yeah. So big week. Had tons of shares and exposure online. It must be pretty exciting.
Yeah, we've had a lot of great reviews and feedback on the drivers, the family. It's been awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah. No, we done our initial test, and we hadn't hit it until Monday, and we wanted it to be a sort of truly sort of authentic reaction to the rad speed.
Yeah, we saved it. I'm glad we did that.
And it was exceeded our expectations, didn't it?
It absolutely did. Yeah, I think 3 weeks ago, Jose, after the 3D printed putters showed up, we had the driver afterwards. And we just took it out, maybe 5 or 6 warm-up swings.
Yep.
And then we filmed the review just to stay fresh. So just didn't want to have any idea of, is it any faster, is it any more forgiving, just literally go into it totally blind. And we found, I would say pretty definitively, that forgiveness-wise, we're in a different world. Yeah, we need to either have, not much I can do about Jose's echo right now.
Okay.
I have an echo.
Phones on maybe.
Guys, if there's a little bit of an echo on Jose's line, let us know if that continues, and we'll see if we can figure that one out.
It's because it's us. So here's what we'll do. Jose, go ahead. Sorry, I'm just going to mute our side for 1 second while you're talking. I think that will help.
Yeah, thanks for that. I saw your reviews. They were outstanding.
Thank you, pal. Thank you. No, we we really enjoyed it, and yeah, I mean, I think the expectations are always really high on our end. You know, ever since we started the channel, one of the biggest videos that we ever done was the
F9.
Was the F9. That
Still
was
a top 10.
That was one of the biggest videos I think that really catapulted our channel when we had such unbelievable results with that. So it's kind of one of those things now. There's an expectation every time there's a Cobra product comes through the door that we are sort of thinking about it in that light.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah, the F9 was a pretty good driver, and to ensure that we have a lineage, a performance that follows that was really important to us, important to our players actually on tour, right?
Yeah, it would be. Absolutely would be. Just turning Jose's mic down a little bit. Yeah, that's better. I'm turning Jose's mic down just a bit. I think that's going to be better now, guys. We're getting the hang of this.
Yeah, this is day one with certainly joining.
We'll get better. What we need for next time is you and I need headsets like Jim Nance and Nick Faldo.
We can get that done.
We'll do that next time.
Yeah, we run through this on Teams as well. If you don't use headphones, the echo happens. So
yeah.
This is the world we currently live in, Jose. Hopefully not for much longer. That's all I can say. It'd be nice to just do this in person next time.
I'm ready to make a trip up there. Give me an excuse to travel, please.
Oh, we're exactly the same.
We are the same. Yeah, I would go anywhere. I would go literally anywhere right now.
Yeah. So maybe Jose, give us the brief on radspeed. We had our hands on radspeed. We haven't touched on the other two drivers yet. So
yeah,
maybe give us the kind of full rundown from internal.
Yeah, absolutely. radspeed is the celebration of some really techie stuff, as you guys pointed out. Radius of gyration. An engineer, taught us that if you push the CG as far forward as possible, you're going to get a lot of ball speed and lower the spin, which is super important for players like you guys. Super strong, fast swing speeds, want to manage your trajectories really well. But if you just do that by itself, most other people get hurt by it. The loft's too low, it's hard to get up in the air. So we put the CG, a lot of mass in the back as well to balance that out. And that's what radspeed's all about. You guys are talking about. It's the ability to move as much weight or technology away from the center so you get the benefits of all worlds. I'm really excited and looking forward to, Maddie, hitting the extreme back version, because you did really enjoy the speed zone extreme. And when you do that, I think you're going to see more speed than last year, because what we did this year is pushed a lot of weight to the back, but left, quite amount of weight in the front also to balance that out. So the goal here is to make a radspeed driver that's super low spin, lower trajectory, and forgiving, which I think you guys saw in your initial test the other day. And then when you get to the extreme, you're going to get the benefit of, probably one of the most forgiving drivers in the marketplace, if not the most forgiving, but yet it retains speed, which usually back CG or forgiving drivers give up. And then finally this year, you guys alluded to it, we added a new driver called the XD, which is the draw version. And let's face it, there's a lot of guys out there that are still trying to manage their slice or reduce it to a fade, or maybe hit a draw for the first time. And having that position into the heel, making it easier to close the face, is going to help a lot of people. And yet we kept some weight in the front to keep the speed up there too. So I'm really excited about that third driver as well.
Why don't you give Jose your little opinion on the draw, why you like the draw weighted 3-wood specifically?
Yeah.
Jose, we had a little kind of just totally off the cuff conversation. I don't know if I made it in the video because it was probably a little off topic, but I saved it anyway.
Yeah.
Tell them what you were saying about the 13.5 version of the draw and why you find that might be something that's great for a lot of people.
Well, I just think, and Jose, you've seen, as more fittings than me, and you've seen, as many of these golfers that really need this this draw bias driver, and you kind of get that player who's a little bit out to in with the path, and they have to retain more dynamic loft through the face angle, which kind of turns that driver into a more lofted driver at impact, and ultimately what you're trying to wrestle back in that ball speed, bring the launch down, bring the spin down, get the sort of ball starting on the right line and those sorts of things. I love that there's a 13.5 3-wood in the draw that we could turn into that for that player. And I'm just, and I know obviously it's a game of obviously, it's just economics in terms of how many models you sell. But I would love at one point to see a 9-degree version in the driver that has the ability for us to put it down 1 degree and close it. And I think that would just be an unbelievable addition. I've been saying to Ping for a while about their draw bias driver that I'd love to see a 9, and they're like, well, it doesn't really make sense for us, and I get it, but I would love to see it from a fitter standpoint.
It makes total sense to me. Jose, what do you think about that?
Yeah, that's an interesting point. To say that people who need a draw driver are only slower swing speeds or need more launch isn't necessarily the truth. It is, to Ping's point, a law of need and wants. Like not a lot of people will buy it, so is it worthwhile to make all the tools and procure it? But I do see that the need, in our FMAX line, which I'm not sure if you guys have ever hit our offset line, we do make a 9.5 degree version just for those guys who are super strong, but still, may need some help managing their slice. So I see your point. And if I ever find one of those hit my desk, I'll make sure and send it up north.
We need it.
Awesome.
That's for sure.
We will be the first to test it for you, I promise.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've seen it in other as kind of lower lofted drivers have kind of came back a little bit. For a while there, because of adjustable sleeves, companies were kind of going 9 is where we're stopping, and then kind of that's moved a little bit in the industry in the last couple of years. There's been some lower lofts, and we kind of tend to utilize those lower lofts and kind of close them in order to try and help that player. But anyway, that's another conversation. So tell us a little bit about the rest of the family. The Fairway woods and the hybrids, which we were really impressed with as well.
Yeah, I saw your review on the fairways and hybrids, and thanks again for all the kind words. I'm glad it performed well for you. I think, the big thing that we've done this year is added the draw fairway to match the draw driver. There is the big tour and the tour fairway woods, for guys like you who want to have a smaller shape and really manage trajectories down. That's a great fairway wood to get into to match the radspeed driver. And then for those who are probably playing the XB driver, the standard fairway does a great job of being an all-around great performer, super forgiving, yet we put a lot more weight forward to manage the trajectory and the spin down. So I guess what I'm saying is if you fall in love with one of the drivers that we have this year, you're going to fall in love with the fairway that matches it, because we've tried to build the same type of performance differences into those fairways.
Yeah, that makes absolute perfect sense, and I'm really excited to try those. We've never tried the big tour.
No, we didn't do it last year.
So I'm really excited to hit that one and the draw bias ones, and I just think as a complete line, Jose, I mean, I think this is the best I've ever seen it from Cobra. I really do.
I think that's fair to say. Yeah, I wasn't, I'm just speaking totally personally, I wasn't a huge fan for whatever reason of the fairway woods the last couple of years. And I don't know if it was just like the feel of it or something just about the way they sat, Jose, but now I think even this standard one, and I know this isn't the tour or anything, something about the way this sits is just so nice. I love the infinity face. It feels better, it feels brighter, like it's got more pop on it. And I also love that it isn't yet another 3-wood that dives out of the air with 2,000 spin. Like, there's enough of those. We don't need more of them, because TaylorMade makes a great one, and they also make a Sim Max. Like, I just like that there's another good fairway wood for people that want to get the ball up in the air, have an easier time hitting it. Like, I lofted this up to 15.5 when we started. It felt like hitting a 7-iron. It was just so easy to just hit a stock kind of high ball flight over and over again. And I would imagine people will gravitate towards the rails again. Like we were talking about how that has just stayed, you would know, with you guys since the original Baffler basically started the company. I can see why it's still a thing, because even on our artificial turf, I could tell the hybrid was getting through the strike nicely with those rails. So that was my 2 cents. I was really impressed with them.
Yeah, the rails really do help those fairways glide through the turf. And for those people who need a little bit of forgiveness with turf interaction, I mean, the rails are really going to help. And that's, to your point, a mainstay. Now, when you get to the big tour fairway this year, I think you'll be interested to note that it looks like it has rails on the bottom, but the Big Tour fairway is really just a really shallow rail system on there. So it acts like it doesn't really have rails. We made that for Lexi and for Bryson, who, for years have played fairway woods without rails, and they're not really steep in their angle of attack. So we made that fairway to have that type of look and that type of feel to it.
Well, and that's something that, I want to just touch on, because obviously Bryson was such a talking point last year, and obviously the way he's kind of transformed the game. And it's not often you see one player do something that makes all their other peers go rethink their approach to playing the game. I mean, everything they've done since day one playing the game, these guys had to rethink whether that's how they need to be doing it based off of one guy's approach.
So true.
And that's obviously the sort of respect that he has amongst his peers for his approach. And maybe if you can share any little insights into his reaction to the new product.
I love that.
We gave him his first look of the product at his photo shoot and our TV commercial shoot here just in October, just a few weeks ago. And it was outstanding. Clearly, when we tried the standard rad speed, that's what he's going to gravitate towards. It has lower spin, more neutral in its shot shape, and he fell in love. Now, the standard one clearly was going to be too much spin. You really got to create a head that's going to accept an impact that's going to cause 200 plus miles per hour. And so if you're looking for a lower lofted driver version, we do have one that's 5 degrees, and our boy has lofted it down to 3.5, which is probably the lowest lofted club in his entire bag, and he smoked it. And the engineers are super smart. The innovation group, led by Mike Yagley, as you know, and the R&D team led by Tom Olszewski, we manage those things, and they created bulge and roll for him, for his speeds. And when he tried it, I remember we were on a par 4 that was 460, and he started trying it, and he was trying to show us how he practices speed with this brand new driver in his hand, how he tries to build up his speed creation. And it was quite a show, about 45 minutes of music and cheering on. And he showed us how to get way above 200 miles per hour. And the new driver was what a lot of people commented who got to watch it was how straight he hits it at that speed. And I think that's what you're talking about. His peers are saying not only is he hitting it longer, but he hasn't given up any accuracy. He's actually a little more accurate at these longer distances. And that's what's really helped him to set himself aside from others and really show people what you can do if you really concentrate on making speed and distance that you can control.
I don't think enough people have said that exact thing, Jose. I really don't believe enough people have touched upon the accuracy that has come with it. So from a strokes gain perspective, the distance gains without any loss of accuracy is what's been sort of game changing for him, and others are playing with him going, yeah, he's hitting as many fairways as me, and he's giving me 50 yards off the tee, and he hits his 8-iron, 190, 200 yards, and he's killing these par 5s, and
sure.
It's just it has to be an easier way to play the game. I mean, from a psychological standpoint, you always feel like you're trying to keep up with that player, and
yes,
it's like what Tiger used to say.
It would wear you down.
Yeah, when Tiger had that distance advantage, he would talk about turning up with his kind of B- game and knowing that he would win with his B- game. And a lot of the guys must feel a bit like that with Bryson right now because of, if he turns up hitting it that long, if he just has an average driving week and a great wedge week, he's probably going to win or contend.
Yeah, it is quite amazing. We've definitely enjoyed it. It's great to hear his kind of partnered company is getting so much out of the relationship with him.
Yeah, that's true.
And the engineering team is able to make that driver in 3.5. We'll have to talk more about that.
Yeah.
We could probably do a video just on that, Jose. Two things. One, I really want to get user questions going because we have a lot of people that want to just ask you directly because we can talk to you all day. I have to ask first though, what is that driver behind you? on your shelf. What is that?
This was one of the
Tom Raw.
limited edition prototypes that we made
cool.
that I helped do. Shoot, where's it going?
There you
it is.
go.
There you go.
That's it.
Yep.
There you go. So this was a limited edition
Yeah.
camo driver that we did
camo
last
one.
year, and I have the
what it
first
might be.
prototype where I put a crosshair because that's where you want to hit it,
Yeah.
and a camo digi face.
That's awesome.
That is
Very
cool.
cool.
Very cool. Yep, that's definitely a showpiece for the wall. All right, so we good to get into some questions?
Yeah, let's.
Do you want to man that on that side?
Definitely.
If you let me know, I'll put it up on the screen so people can see.
Okay.
Let me know what you want to pick there.
So let's go B. So,
Sure.
Jose, what driver length is Bryson using right now?
Where is that?
Well, that's hard to do because he's always testing, but his current one is 45. As you guys have heard, he's very interested in 48 inches. I've seen him try a 45 3/4, which almost made it in play at the Masters because it was such a good balance between, control and speed. But I talked to Ben Showman yesterday, our director of tour operations, and he is visiting with Bryson next week again. And we have a couple more heads, probably by weight, to give him to manage the different shafts that he's trying right now. So I wish I had a definitive answer. I'm just going to say he's in standard 45. And then when he comes with something else, you guys will find out probably just a couple days after I do.
Love it. What about, one of the questions there was about Ricky and sort of his kind of reaction. Have you seen any kind of the testing that Ricky's done with the product?
Yeah, he's been continuing his testing. Ricky too needs a couple different tweaks into the head. As you know, his driver is a little bit shorter in length. So we put a lot of hot melt and weight up the head differently. So it's this time of year where we're still getting in tour parts, and we just got a big slug of boxes in this last week. And because of this week's launch, Ben has gotten a lot of calls from other tour players that want to try the heads as well that aren't our staffers. So we're gearing up, we're measuring all the heads, making sure they're all perfect for these guys. And Ricky is one of the guys waiting for a couple heads. He too is testing next week with Ben. Ben's busy. He's going to be in Texas and he's going to be in Florida. So and they're going to do some more testing. Ricky has a head that he's really liked. He's working himself into, and we think, in the beginning of the year, the whole team will be into their rad speeds and ready to go. Ricky has saw the drivers first because, he's one of the guys that I and Ben talked to early in the year when we get our first prototypes. Like, we're already working on 2022, by the way. And so normally in April or March or April or May, we're looking to get feedback from our staffers. So we'll go out to Ricky and to Bryson and ask them to give us their input on face angles, on the way things look at a dress, the way the face looks to them, the way the shape and even the colors. So Ricky's seen this driver a couple different times, once in the spring, once in the fall, and now he's working his way into it here during the off season.
Very, very cool.
His video. Jose, you hear us okay? I think we just got a little bit of a lag there for a second. Oh, there you are.
I hear you guys fine.
Okay. Guys, if you're watching on the live stream, if the video is lagging a bit, it is pushing my MacBook 13-inch to the absolute burning point. We're probably going to light on fire pretty soon. Just rewind your feed 30 seconds and it will buffer smoother. I have to get a new computer. Listen to this thing. The graphics card is exploding because we have Jose on, apparently. It can't handle your celebrity status, Jose, just so you know. Okay, this is a great
The three
question.
of us are so hot that the computer's overheating.
It's so hot. Burning, steaming hot. Okay, I think this is a great question from Taylor. Basically, out of everything new, Jose, all the rad stuff, what is the biggest improvement over speed zone? So is the standard driver the biggest improvement over last year's standard driver? Is the hybrid the biggest improvement over previous generation's hybrid, in your personal opinion?
You're asking me to talk about all my children and say which one's the best looking, best one. That's hard to do. But let me say this. I'm excited for those of you who really liked the extreme driver last year, or maybe tried and said, it's good, I just wish it was a little bit easier to square up, because some people said it was a little bit fade biased. Our internals of these drivers, we completely adjust every year to match. So now I think we have a pretty good feel for what our better players want. And that's why the rad speed performed very similar to extreme, maybe a little bit better. Like you said, it's easier. It seems easier to hit, like you can put in an automatic. Well, the extreme is going to be like that too. You're going to feel like it's one of those drivers that you just swing and it automatically corrects to a square face, easy. It's very straight down the line, and it's going to have a lot lower spin. So I'm excited about that driver. And I've been playing it now for a couple months, and versus my Speed Zone Extreme, I've noticed those things, and I think other people will too. We've noted it in our testing, so I feel confident that people will see that. I'm excited about these fairways. I mean, it's the first time we put a lot of weight forward in the fairways, and you still said it flew up in the air, which is really cool. I mean, you said it, it's white and round and it sits on the ground, and it's the hardest thing to hit off the ground with this lower lofted club. And to have fairways that get up in the air, yet push the envelope of how far they go, because most people are using fairway woods to get the ball moving down the hole, right? They're not just attacking greens or hitting it off the tee. Some people have to hit fairways a couple times. So they need things that go far and easy to hit. And I'm excited about that. Our testing showed the hybrid had some huge gains this year. And I remember you saying that the hybrid, you were really impressed with the way it looked and the way it performed. We saw some huge numbers because we pushed a lot of weight that we were able to free up into the front of that hybrid using this rad weighting. And it too, because it has loft, you can afford a lot more speed and a little bit less spin, and it still has a managing descending trajectory to stop on greens as needed. And so I think that's pretty cool. And then I guess my last kid I have to give props to are these irons. You know, the first ever 3D printed medallion we've used to help damp vibrations allows us to make super fast faces that may sound clacky if we didn't use some technology like that to help manage feel. But, you know, these irons go far, they fly, you know, at a good trajectory still, even though, like most people, we're trying to loft jack and give people an advantage of distance into greens. We're managing those trajectories and managing the feel really well in those irons. Sorry if I didn't pick one for you.
Okay.
I love it.
The comments are just going to get on you because you didn't pick one, but that's okay. It's okay. It is tough to pick which is the favorite child. But
if I had to pick one, it would be driver.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think
that extreme driver for me means I have less irons into green, so I'm happy.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I think it's a perfect segue. We got a few people asking what you're playing personally, Jose.
What's in the bag?
What is in that bag?
So I put the XB driver into play. I have it in 10.5. I'm using the Motori F1 in stiff flex, and I play it at 45 inches. So that's my gamer. I changed fairways really easily this year. So like you, Maddie, you commented that some of the fairways went a little hook for you, a little too easily in the years past. My Speed Zone fairway was a little left bias, more than I wanted, and this new one is very much more neutral for me, and the ball flies a little higher. I don't know why, because I expected it to fly a little more penetrating with the weight forward, but I've noticed that for me it's easier to get up in the air, and so now I have a good 230 club. I don't hit the ball as far as you guys, so I'm really happy about that. I haven't changed out a hybrid. I haven't got my fingers on a new hybrid yet. So I use a 2 hybrid. And then I go into my irons. And in my irons right now, I'm changing out my Speed Zone 6, 5, and 4 into the radspeed. And then for my short irons, I do use the Forge Techs from 7 down to pitch. I have my own personal grinds on some raw Cobra wedges. You guys know I love grinding wedges. That's how I cut my teeth into this business. And so I have a couple custom grinds. I have a 50, a 55, and a 60. And then I have maybe a putter I can't talk about yet. So let's just say I have a prototype something or other.
Love that.
Wow, I love that.
I actually meant to say that to you, Jose. Congrats on the speed gains. I know you've been working at that, and you've been doing some stuff to try and get your speed up a little bit more. I've been following you on social when you've been doing your stuff, so it looks like you're making some really good headway with that.
Thanks for that. Yeah, my coach, Fausty Golf, Ryan Faust, he's a member at the club where I belong, and he's a +3. And, for a little guy, he hit it so far. And I asked him one day, I said, dude, how do you have so much clubhead speed? He goes, well, funny you ask. And he told me what he did. I wanted him in our driver. So now he is a Cobra guy. He's been testing the rad speed, and because he's one of our testers now, and he was looking really forward to get into it. But anyways, he's been putting me on a program of, teaching an old man how to be more flexible and how to free up my mind to be able to swing harder. To Bryson's point, you can swing hard and you'll have the break speed he talks about to be able to stop your swing and be able to gain speed back. And, it's incredible. I thought I'd be crazy crooked with 5 to 7 miles per hour more, and it's actually, I haven't given up much directional control, so I guess it's given me the authority to just freewheel it off the tee and get a little more distance.
I think that's brilliant advice for everyone,
Yes,
Jose. I really do. I think people need to realize when the handbrake comes off the golf swing at times, often you will at least be as straight, and often you will be
straighter.
You'll be straighter.
Yeah.
Often you'll be a little bit more sort of athletic. You'll stop controlling things as much and stop guiding your golf swing, and you'll actually hit it a little bit straighter than you used to. So
No, that's great advice.
I think that is great advice.
We could probably keep going with Jose for another hour, but Jose, you've been good to us. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks
here for
for
this half
joining
an
us,
hour.
pal. Yeah.
People really appreciate it, guys. Thanks for putting your questions in. So, Jose, we'll love you and leave you. We've got something interesting you may want to keep an eye on. We may be testing the rad again today, rad speed, with the famous Korean shaft. We may do that afterwards. So keep the live stream open in case we do that.
Yeah. Well, I think
else?
the last time that we tested, and we were doing a speed test with Autoflex and a driver, the whole idea is we were trying to hit it over, Matty was trying to hit it over 370. We were trying to build him something that he could hit over 370. So
380 today?
Yeah, the next kind of
380.
speed slot.
Today's goal is 380, Jose.
Yeah.
That's a great goal. And Matty, when I watch you hit the ball, I always ask myself, this guy either just doesn't want to play on tour or he can't putt, because you hit the ball so straight and so far. I don't know what you're doing sitting in a room when you could be playing for a living.
Jose, don't be giving him any ideas. Don't be giving him any ideas.
Well, he's right. I can't putt. He had it 100% right. Cannot putt. But I also like being here, so there's that too. There's both.
You guys are a great team. We love watching you. Keep it up, guys. It's refreshing and very technical and gives a lot of people a lot to think about. So thank you very much.
Appreciate it. And
Thanks, Jose.
Thank you for joining us.
And we can't wait to get out in the West Coast and see you guys and get you up here. And we've got a bunch of good golf lined up for when you come and see us. So
Definitely.
Look forward to it.
Okay, thanks again, Jose.
Thanks, boys. Take care.
Thanks, pal.
Talk soon. Fantastic.
Very cool. Very cool.
I want to say overall that interview function worked quite well.
Yeah,
listen to the old computer
it's humming. It is humming. No, that was once we could have got that little echo.
The mute function was good.
Yeah.
We were just muting our mics every time Jose talked. We'll get a more permanent solution, but you're right. For today, that was absolutely perfect.
Just as a little segue on that, we guys, the reason we wanted to do these little kind of guests and bringing guests on is because we want to do that with you guys. We literally want to bring in 2 or 3 of you on every single Q&A live.
Yep.
And give you the platform. Let's not just answer a question. Let's go through whether it's through your bag or through a purchasing dilemma,
Yes.
or something that you've got.
I just had a lightning bolt of how I'm
brilliant.
going to do it too. I just realized how I'm going to do it.
It's always
I
good.
literally just
Always
realized
good when it makes
logistically.
sense.
So how it's going to work is, we'll start with it this way. It's going to be available to anyone who's on the live, so you have to tune in. I'm going to put a link in the chat in the description where you will go put in your name and your email. And if you're selected by random draw, you will receive the link and you will appear seconds later. You'll get to chat with us for a few minutes and then we will move on to the next person. So it is, not only is it easy to do, I think we can do it starting on Monday.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that would be amazing because I mean,
Do it on Monday.
it's been on the wish list.
It has been. It's just
For a while,
it's
isn't it?
hard to picture it
Yeah, and-
logistically, right?
And other than having some pretty sophisticated technology, we always kind of scratched our head as to how we do it. Then this function appeared on the
much
software
better.
that we already use, so it becomes a no-brainer.
I think our live capabilities are really coming along. I mean, some of this stuff, I'm not exaggerating, some of this stuff is what a network TV show deals with, and their switchboards and patching people in. I mean, you guys watch the news, it's tough. Like, remote guests are tough. They crap out sometimes. Sometimes people are caught hot mics going to the bathroom and stuff. Like,
I know.
It's the Wild West, but I really feel like we're really starting to get there. And we're going to test the other function of the live stream, which hopefully will be a live episode coming today.
Coming later today.
Yeah.
No, that'll be really, really cool. So, and thanks guys for the questions. A lot of really good
Really
questions.
good questions. I think
for Jose
it
there.
was good to focus on. Jose's a beauty. Like, he doesn't
Yeah,
dodge stuff either.
no.
Like, it's good that you guys asked him questions like, "What's your favorite club?" And he's so receptive to what you said about needing that lower loft. Honestly, I guarantee you he goes back and asks if they can do it,
Yeah.
or at least maybe tour picks a head or two that you can test with, because people like him and I think the really smart, successful people in the industry. When they're presented with an idea that maybe he hadn't thought of or was a limitation only because they didn't think it was worth it, when someone like you says, "Jose, I think this is really worthwhile and we can sell some," he's looking at you, I can see in his eyes, he's like, "Yes, that's a good idea, I want to look into that."
I mean, and there's a bunch of different ways in which we could test it. I mean, taking the 9, taking the 2 and the 12, putting that into 2 2s, taking the 10-gram weight, hot melt to get into the heel, putting it on -1 draw and kind of simulating it that way. It's how we can test concepts and
Good
things
point.
that kind of that we think will be phenomenal. So
Very true. So maybe we can even Frankenstein something at some
we
point.
definitely could do.
We should do that, and then that will validate it on their behalf if they want. And then that 9-degree, I just think it's a great idea. We could have a whole video series. You know, the Ping hopefully would eventually make their version of it. TaylorMade would make maybe they all make an 8-degree draw driver. It's like the battle of the draw drivers.
Rob Coates was saying, can we get a fireside with Whisker and Bandit? We actually talked about that.
We did. It would break the internet if all three were on at the same time, but
Yeah.
maybe just one at a time.
I know. And we said about sort
At the
of,
very least, they got to send us in a photo.
well, I think Bandit has his photo on his.
Whisker, we need a photo.
Whisker has the Godfather
Yes.
image, which is so funny.
Well, if he's willing to temporarily change it to a little selfie, or even just a photo of you on the golf course, we'd settle for that.
Yeah.
Our legal team is working on contracts. Well, you have your people call our people
From the roof.
from the roof.
From the roof.
You're up there.
Let's grab a couple more questions.
Sure.
I feel like maybe let's go another 10 minutes and then.
That sounds good. Actually, you know what, guys? Fresh ones. Fire questions in right now. Anything goes.
Love that. Love that.
Anything goes for about 10 minutes or so, and then we're going to potentially start our next little segment. I'll need a little warm up, but we'll do it after that. I'm just going to check on our status.
Let's see. Pure Golf Drive. Finding the Mura 501 to be low spinning at the traditional lofts. Have we seen similar results? Low spinning irons at traditional lofts. Why would that be? CG location probably springs to mind as the immediate thing on that. So CG and friction would be the two things that I would say would be the cause of that versus an iron at the exact same loft. So maybe have something if you have a set. If you can maybe see if there's a couple of the iron companies out there that can maybe sandblast the face and kind of do a little contrast. I know there's a few of the refinish companies that could do that. That maybe get you a little bit more friction at a fraction more spin, but it will be minor. It will be minor. Maybe just look at the golf ball.
Yeah, that's a great point. The golf ball will help big time. We made it. We made it. 100 shares.
100 shares.
100%.
Beautiful.
How do I share that I shared this? Or how do I share that this is...
You're asking the wrong man.
What you don't realize is that's how I made a career for myself. Someone says to me as a client, "Hey Matt, how do you do that?" And I'm like, pausing, Googling it, learning. Oh, so and so. This is how it's
so
done.
smart.
That's literally how I live my life.
That is it. Somebody asks a bunch of questions and things, and you come up with answers, and all of a sudden
you're the expert.
You're valuable.
But all being an expert means is you're willing to find the answer. Yeah. That's how I feel about it.
Definitely.
Okay, well, you guys are the first to know. We got to 100 shares very quickly, so thank you for those that shared it.
So we'll be starting another. Come off this off the stream, and we'll start another one.
What I'll do is. Let's still take a few questions. I know I'm delaying things. We'll still take 10, 15 minutes of questions. We'll take a little break. I'm going to take a few sips of my protein shake, loosen up. I will schedule it for about 5 minutes after that so you guys can get on, and then we'll go live. So I would say we'll go live again by 11:40 maybe at the latest, 11:45.
Sounds good.
And we'll do it.
Sounds good.
That'll loosen my bones up to start the day.
Brad's asking, morning lads.
Morning, Brad.
Are the Project X IO and True Temper AMT weights similar? No. One is a constant weight shaft, one is a ascending mass set. They have different profiles. If you're familiar with the old PXI iron from Project X, that's the IO is a sort of a take on what they done there.
Gotcha.
Can you give a comparison between Project X Smoke Blue RDX and the new Diamana TB? I have the TB is going to be one that we tested next week.
Okay.
So I've got that in the bag for us to test next week. We might even just hit both. How much you like the RDX? We might even hit both in the same session.
It's a good point. Or would they be considered direct competitors, or not so much?
Well, what's interesting about that RDX Blue, I had a good call yesterday with Gavin from True Sports, and he was saying that actually that tip section on the RDX Blue is stiffer than the Smoke Green.
Is it?
In the tip section.
I would never have used that.
Yeah, it doesn't. It certainly doesn't feel that way, and we certainly never, thought that.
So the upper portions of the shaft in the green are the reason it feels so stiff.
A little bit different, the torque and things like that. So
Wow.
So that's.
We mentioned Blue Board. You mentioned Blue Board in the RDX video.
Stiff sort of profile.
So maybe they are a good head-to-head.
I think it'd be worth trying.
It would almost be like, who's the new Blue Board?
I know.
Is it Diamana or somebody else?
There's a reason they keep regurgitating that profile. That soft, stiff, 3 sections, stiff in the handle for stability, soft in the middle for loading and fuel capabilities, and then stiff at the tip section to minimize sort of deflection and stabilize that, especially as the heads are getting heavier and larger.
Makes so much
misses
sense.
on the heel and toe side are going to provide more sort of deflection. So you need to stabilize that shaft in order to add more stability. That's why they talk about Ventus being higher MOI. And
yeah, that's right.
It's interesting. I'm having conversations with shaft manufacturers right now. Ventus comes up a lot.
I'm not
talking
surprised.
to other. I think we said that. Like how many other companies are going to talk about Ventus?
It's very true. It is the hot topic.
They're describing their own line, and at some point in the conversation, it goes like Ventus. Like Ventus or something.
I was guilty of it with Hexcel with RDX. The first thing I said.
Yeah.
They just did. Fuji may not be the first company to do that type of thing, but I think they've done maybe the best job getting it out there, or at least it's one of the best shafts. I have to say something though. Same as I said to you when I was doing the close-ups. If I'm wrong, let me know. I think Ventus graphics for 2021 need an update, and the finish of the
you
shaft.
want to see a little more.
I personally think the
design.
Motore is more premium looking from a cosmetic standpoint. Now, I understand that the Velocore and the Ventus is more premium from a construction standpoint. I'm not doubting how good the Ventus is, clearly. I just think that for your $500, Fuji, if you're watching, I think the graphics and the finish could use a little look. That's all I think.
I don't think you're wrong, and I don't think you're asking for too much. If I think of the lineage of the speeder line, so the speeder line was sort of the premium line before Ventus came along, and the different speeders over the years, they had some really kind of jazzy and sort of great looking shafts.
One the DJ still uses. It's a good looking shaft.
Yeah. So
not that
interesting.
it's that important, but I'm the design.
Campaigning.
I'm the design person, and half the time I don't even leave them in half the time because the comments are so stupid. But most of my off-camera chatter is about whether things match for color and whether the fonts are good, and that's my I think that's probably what I would do. Is if I wasn't doing this, I would have to work for some company like consulting for stuff like that. I just enjoy that. I think
we get a chance now. I think we're humble enough to realize, our place and our opinions are only our opinions. They're no more than that. Yeah. But when you do get an opportunity to test as many products as we get to test, and you get exposure to different things. I mean, if I was a manufacturer, kind of like Jose, he said there, he's like, we listen to you guys. We watch, what you guys say about, your products and other products, and it becomes, an opinion that's it registers in the golf industry. So
good point.
What you say about things like that, you've been saying about this hybrid, this purple.
The Ventus make
purple.
A Ventus purple. Yeah. Make it like a cool flat finish, and I don't know. Yeah. I do know. That's what you should do.
We'll see it. 2021.
I think a cool milestone. You're right. We are. I hope humble enough in the way we come off, but it would be really cool if at some point, I'm not saying it's going to happen. Who knows? If a product came out, some feature, appearance, design, something. If a company literally did something that you can attribute to something you suggested, that would be really cool.
Well, I can tell you right now, it's in the works. I mean, there are companies who have basically brought me in to collaborate on certain things.
That's right. You have had some conversations with
so that will happen very, very soon. That there'll be products in the marketplace that have been based on our design and our thoughts and input. Because I've started referring to our Monday sessions as the TXG R&D lab.
That's what it feels.
I don't know if there's many other places out there who do as much testing.
Not independent
testing, and then go through the week where they actually have consumers coming in, and we take our learnings and we apply it to the customers.
Plus the 100,000 people that constantly give you feedback.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is what's really, really good about it.
No, you're right. That is the beauty of this situation, isn't it?
It is. It's awesome.
All green shaft line coming to TXG, Brian.
Negative.
The man has some principle. I know he does.
Yeah.
Ben Watson, what is my fastest club head speed and ball speed? Let's answer this because I want to see if we can beat it today. Fastest club head speed on quad would have been a 130 and change.
You had about a 130.
Which, just for my own knowledge, 125 on TrackMan or less?
So there's about 3 mile an hour discrepancy.
3. Okay, so around 126, 127 on TrackMan. Yeah. 130 GC quad is my fastest ever. Yeah. My fastest ball speed ever, I think, was a 184 at the PGA show with our big old pal, Big Al.
That's right. And well,
there was a 183 in here for sure.
And that one I'm fully giving credit to. We at the time, I remember you and I looking at each other going,
oh, the Hawk. It was a prototype Hawk.
It was the prototype Hawk, and we wondered if that was...
I didn't feel like it was happening. We had been standing up for about 6 hours, and me and Al were hanging out, and it was a casual day, believe me. I'm not saying I wasn't feeling good, but there's no way I was setting personal bests in that situation. Me and Al went for a beer in the Cobra booth. Dude, we were not, I wasn't in peak physical form, I promise you. We did.
Where's Al?
Greg Norman was there signing an autograph, waved to him. We got a complimentary Coors Light, and I played Warzone with Al yesterday.
Did you really?
We sucked.
That is too good.
You know what's brutal is the internet connection speed, because he's on the other side of the world. This ping speed, forgive me, I know this is nerdy garbage. We're basically seeing a man running that you need to shoot in the game. He's already run 300 milliseconds before, so you're at a massive disadvantage. But when I play myself or with my buddy in Calgary, you're 3 times faster. But anyway, I'm blaming the internet for me and Al not winning a game yesterday, because I did win a game with my friend from Calgary, Warzone Duos, and it was exciting. We hadn't won a game in 2 months.
Love it. Matthew boy loves this stuff.
I just about did a cartwheel, which I'm not physically capable of. My fiance probably heard me. I was screaming. But
I tell you what I do love. Al done a phenomenal job. Did you see his video on radspeed?
I did. I was watching it while I was streaming with him.
So good. Good.
Those courses that he does a great job. I love his review style.
Yeah, and his review style is improving.
Very enjoyable
all the time. I thought his review was brilliant. He's had a ton of views on it, which is amazing to see.
I was gonna say, let's get a little catch up on his.
He has he's at 45,000, 45.6 or something.
Let's get Al to 50,000 right now, for God's sake.
Let's get Alex Etches. Let's get Big Al to 50. Where are we at? Let's get Al to 50 before Christmas.
Yeah, so he's 46 right now.
46.
And by the way, Al has his listing of how many videos he has, 246.
He's ahead of Pro.
Al is ahead of us.
Yeah.
If you divide subscribers by videos,
Yep.
Al's beating us by quite a lot. So Al, keep that in mind. You have a higher per video output. So community, let's see if we can make this happen. Remember that today, December 10th, at 11:21, Al had about 46,000 subscribers.
So Alex Etches, ETCHES.
Yeah,
Alex Etches.
The big lad. His latest video is about the radspeed driver. He has 2. I think Al has the, well, if you want to see a radspeed X video, I'm pretty sure he has it.
And guys, go into it with the mindset that it's going to be a lot of fun, but there's also going to be some, his thoughts are the thoughts of a very good player. He's one of the first things that kind of we kind of caught, or we get his, or he got our attention, I suppose, would be when you were like, there's a guy who hits it further than me.
I do remember saying that months, like years ago.
He's like, have you seen this guy and how far he hits it and stuff? And then that was prior to
the show, for sure.
To the show, and then we end up kind of, I can't remember. We ended up chatting prior to the show. How did that work?
We had a little Instagram message exchange. Or Al, to be honest, Al was very friendly. I think he probably liked a few of our things and commented and stuff. So maybe we just had a little brief back and forth and send him a hello. And then we were at the Ping outdoor booth at the PGA show. I saw the big bastard walking by and I just went over to him and was like, what's happening?
I know.
And that's when we ended up hanging out for a couple of days. He's just a beauty.
He is a beauty.
He's doing a great job. As you said, don't go over there looking for another TXG or something, nor should you.
No.
It is really entertaining. He's got a great personality. He's actually also a very good person, fundamentally too, which is important to both of us. So support the big lad, and $50K for Al for Christmas. I'm calling it Big Al. We need a hashtag like Big Al 50 Xmas. 2020.
Yeah. That's exactly okay. We're going to think of something for that.
I'll post something on Instagram too.
And
we got to send Al an Autoflex.
We got to send Al. Well, at this point, I don't think we need to send him an Autoflex.
Autoflex. Send Al an Autoflex.
Domina, you need to send Alex Etches an Autoflex.
Send him a few. Actually, send him the most flexible one because he's a nutcase and
305.
He swung a club with made of garden hose.
Sasquatch 50K.
That's pretty good. I like that. Not
like
the most complimentary, but
let us. He would love that though, wouldn't he? He would love that. Let's get some hashtags going for Al, getting Al to 50. What's the most creative hashtag?
By the way, do more than that. Don't post them here. Go post them on all his videos because he's not going to know what the hell's going on. Go post whatever the hell you want in all his comments. I want him to literally message me and go, "Did you say something?
What the hell has happened?" Yeah.
Although it's the middle of the night for him, but
go subscribe on his channels and his Insta and hashtag.
You pick one. What's your hashtag?
I probably don't know if it'd be PG.
Is it modern PG or PG when we were kids was a lot different than PG is now. You can get away with a lot now.
You can. We'll think of something. We'll start something a little trend.
Yeah, I'd love to see. But yeah, so I want him to get the most flexible Autoflex because he'll literally hit himself in the ass with it, and then obviously the stiffest one possible. Yeah, Autoflex, take care of this for us.
Take care of it. Send Al a couple of.
Take care of this for us.
A couple. That is the challenge
That's the
to
challenge.
you guys.
Yes, your challenge.
This is
to get
your
him to
challenge.
50K.
We've had a few challenges.
This is yours.
That's the challenge.
Quick note, this is totally unrelated. It's only because I'm looking at that TSI. Tommy Fleetwood obviously still playing the TSI. A little 2-under round in Dubai today.
Not playing TSI. Was he playing TSI today?
Sorry. Patrick Reed is now playing the TSI.
Right,
He's playing with Tommy Fleetwood. I think Tommy Fleetwood's still playing the TSI.
So Tommy Fleetwood, from internet rumor, is transitioning as we speak to TaylorMade.
Okay, he had what looked like a black driver.
Right. So I think he's been testing sim. This. Well, I think he's played sim at some point.
He did play a sim at some point.
And he may be trying their new driver. I believe he's doing some work. Wallaby 50K. That's funny.
Okay, so you may see.
There we go. Domina in the house.
Fantastic.
Domina in the house. So they have heard their challenge. Love that.
Thank you.
Awesome, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. So let's set that
grow
up.
This. Al will grow. Believe me, if you guys think that we've had laughs with Autoflex, Al will take this to another God knows what this guy will say about it. That's why it's the best.
I know.
What the hell was I talking about?
We were talking about Fleetwood.
So Fleetwood's going to be a TaylorMade staff player?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And he was playing the irons and
yes,
and
it's
stuff.
not even surprising. But Patrick Reed, as much as people love him playing the TSI, I think is actually a really interesting development because Patrick Reed has played the G400 LST, which I think both of us think was one of the best drivers ever made, period.
Yeah.
And I think TSI may still be in that, it's so early, but it may be a contender for that sort of best drivers, like 2016 M1 that was M2.
2016 M2, 2017
was like
M1.
crazy good, and like really G400 LST, crazy good. So I thought that was interesting. I thought that was interesting, out in the desert, out in the Dubai desert.
Someone was asking who our picks are for this week. Really hoping Robert McIntyre gets it done. He just won golfer of the month on the European Tour for November, getting his first win at the Aphrodite Championship out in I think it was Cyprus, and then trending. I think he finished maybe third or something last week.
Come on, lad, keep going.
Lefty as well.
Like, how could you not? Yeah, you're
Scottish.
You're
lefty.
Scottish. I'm a lefty.
He has to be our favorite. He
has to be. He needs to be our new Tiger Woods.
Lefty.
Yeah.
Let's get on this.
Scottish lefties are TXG's number one.
The Robert McIntyre train. Let's really get that going.
Let's get Robert McIntyre to the number one European Tour player and then beyond.
His coach is a really good friend of mine.
Is he?
Really good friend. So at some point, actually, we could do once he's done the DP, we could do a little podcast with Robert and Dave.
That'd be fun. How old is Robert?
He is 24.
Okay, he's not that.
No, he's young. He's one of the. He's still considered one of the kind of the hot young talents on the European Tour. Actually, an email came in from us this morning from the European Tour.
Oh, good.
About this. It was good news. It was, yeah.
Can you share this news?
Let me just.
I was going to quickly
read
say something about Robert McIntyre. Yeah, I think he's not getting enough attention because it's the European Tour. If what he was doing was happening on the PGA Tour, then I think you'd hear more North Americans talking about it.
So we reached out to the European Tour about doing some content, some brand content with them. So they said they're out in Dubai right now, but we'll send over some dates that work for us, and we will cross-check our calendars, so it's a green light.
Wow, so we can start to talk about when we're going.
Yeah.
Well, you heard it here first.
Yeah.
I heard it here first.
We're going to go do some content
Tell
with
my fiance I'm going to Dubai soon.
The European
Tour.
Are
you watching?
So that'll be brilliant. That'll be brilliant. So there's a great question. Alex is saying, why doesn't TXG sponsor Matt in some golf tournaments? I was thinking yesterday, you and I, we need to think about going and playing in some of these 4-ball events.
Oh, would love to do that.
How good would that be? Like our prep for the events and getting ourselves ready for it. And
let us know if you guys want to see that. Can we do, like, how competitive can we get? Is there
Ontario 4-ball and things like that?
Those are legit events.
Those are good events.
I'm down for that.
Yep. So we
let's play in a few little team ones.
We're going to do that.
There's 2-man stuff, isn't it?
Yep, there's a bunch of 2-man stuff.
Let's make our first thing we should do is play in some 2-man stuff.
We could do next once we get our games in good shape, which they're already decent, but get into scramble season with Rebecca and Mac.
That's true.
Team TXG in the scramble season.
I saw they were playing well down in Dubai.
They're playing real. I spoke to both of them last night.
True, the 4 of us could light some candles.
They're doing awesome, but it would be really good for us to kind of talk about prep and really, because we love to play well, we love to improve as always, and it would kind of give us something to really shoot for and aim for without it feeling like an individual burden.
I totally agree with that. Yes, and it doesn't feel selfish because I don't think either of us enjoy like having the spotlight on us, but I do enjoy the team atmosphere disproportionately more. That's a great idea. Okay, well, I officially commit to that.
I do too.
That would be fun. We'll do some research. We'll see what's local. We'll start with some local stuff, and then maybe travel down to the States, play some events.
That'd be amazing.
I'll make a call I'll triple check that my amateur status is revalidated. I haven't been a pro in 8 years, so it should be fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Just triple check, but I'm sure it's fine. Well, we could even, who knows? We may eventually. I think amateur events make sense to start with, though.
Mine is official as of Feb.
Perfect.
Yep. So I've been allowed to have a handicap, but I think I have official. I like to play in amateur events officially as of then.
That is fantastic. Okay.
Yes.
I feel like we really got down a sidetrack, which is good. Was there something that we were supposed to do at the end of this video? Or can we wrap this up?
No, I think we're good. I think we were waiting to see about the radspeed and Autoflex.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so it's a foregone conclusion.
We are good.
Okay.
So
lovely.
Yeah. So guys, sorry if we didn't get to as many questions as we'd normally like, but obviously special guest
Good to have
with
Jose
Jose on today. So
we're back Monday. Monday will be a normal Q&A day, guys.
We'll be our normal Q&A, and I had some nice comments about last Fridays. Was it Friday we done Fireside last week?
We were in Mississauga on Friday.
Friday.
It was nice.
Lots of people saying that, like, you know, sometimes in the early days, I think we were maybe kind of not accused, but some people maybe commented that it was very kind of, you know, a bit more rigid in our style and stuff like that. And
I was probably standing in front of the camera terrified. I mean,
yeah,
that's the reality.
That's been the evolution. So I think
it takes a while to get comfortable.
The fact that we were both sort of very comfortable on the sofa. I know.
If you had a real fireplace in there, a warm beverage.
Little hot chocolate, perhaps.
So Thursday of next week, we'll be here, but we should decide roughly what we're doing for our little anniversary.
Anniversary, that's going to be so good.
We'll do something special on the Thursday, but I think Monday, assume a nice stock TXG Q&A. We'll do the interview draw a couple times.
Yeah, that would be great.
We'll probably do 2 of those or so.
A couple of those at least.
See how it goes, and then get tons of questions. But it's good. It's nice to just sit and chat, to be honest with you.
It is. Guys, we are not short of content for the next little while.
We're spoiled.
We have a ton of stuff. So I mean, when you know, we come in here in the morning and probably we have our pick of 5 or 6 videos, and we only have to film 3. It's
a good feeling, isn't it?
It really is great. Russ is coming in the house.
Hey, Russ.
Russ, how are you, pal? Rewind. You've got some good stuff to catch up on.
Great live to watch.
So what time are you on now? 11:32. How long do you think? So you'll be warming up, what, 10, 15 minutes?
Yeah, give me like
get a little shake.
Give me
What's
10.
Say 12.
Let's do it at 12.
Okay.
I'm gonna schedule it for 12, guys. You'll see
Beauty.
Radspeed featuring Autoflex, noon Eastern time.
Yeah.
Obviously, log off of this, go back to our channel homepage. A new one will come up. I'll make a thumbnail for it as we speak.
Love it.
Okay.
Love it.
I should go do that.
All right, guys, coming back. Join us. Go get a little refreshment. Go get a little bite to eat, perhaps.
Subscribe to Al's channel.
Subscribe to Big Al.
Take a little breather. Tell all your friends that a live test is about to come. I can't believe I'm committing to this. What an idiot I am. And at noon, you will see us live from Toronto. It's Thursday morning. I'm excited.
Big Al, road to 50K. That's what's happening.
Yeah, I really want to see that happen.
I want to see that. I want to see that needle moving for him. Really quick.
I'll know it's good when he texts me. He hasn't texted me yet.
I know. Will he be snoozing?
Oh, it's 12:30.
I normally check. When do you guys?
I will play with him. Either I'm morning or he's morning.
Right.
So like, one time I played with him, I was like having a beer. It was like 11 o'clock in the morning.
That's hilarious.
But he was night for him. So he will wake up to a hell of a surprise. I just realized that he's sleeping for sure.
Yeah.
So you guys have about 7 hours to make Al's.
7 hours.
Al's Friday will be a serious surprise.
Let's get it.
Let's make it happen.
50K, Christmas time, if not before.
Yeah.
If not before.
Even if you do me a favor, if you're watching this, even if you don't like his videos, subscribe for now. Give it a chance. Leave the subscription on. I think you may end up liking it. But if you go over there, just give it a chance.
It's all such harmless and just so much fun and kind of how he intends to do it. I think what Al has transitioned from, which was maybe some of the people who said that they saw a couple of people going, not my style. I think maybe that was the early days of some of the things that he would test, because comedy is his default. Yeah. He is funny. He is really
Al
funny.
He is in the entertainment industry, but he could be like.
No, he's genuinely funny.
Talented, dramatically talented.
The way we default to technical and breakdown and analysis and being analytical, that's our default, and the other stuff we work on and it comes over time. He is really funny and comes with kind of real entertainment value, but his editing skills
he's a very good editor.
He's really worked hard at that.
It's not an easy thing to do either.
Yeah. When will Ian be on Warzone?
I want you to try it with me one time.
I couldn't even tell you what it is.
Oh, it's just Call of Duty. So
is it on like a PlayStation
so you can play it on.
Xbox?
This is the beauty of it. So good on Call of Duty for doing this. You can play. Normally you have to be PlayStation, but now Al has an Xbox. Now Al has a PC. Anyone with PS4, Xbox, or a PC can actually play together remotely. So wherever people grew up playing, some people grew up I grew up playing Nintendo, playing GoldenEye in my living room. But wherever you grew up playing, if it was on PC, you can play it. Warzone is just like a game that many different franchises have done. It's a giant map.
Really?
Yeah, it's a giant map. You have a partner or you're by yourself. The map slowly gets smaller, and you get pushed into the middle. You get to kill each other. You survive, you win. That's all it is. I'm gonna get the UPS guy.
Okay. UPS guys. Okay, guys. We have 24 minutes. We will be back.
Thanks, guys.
See you soon.